All right, boys and girls, come on in. Let's get a little street smarts going here. Let's get a little savvy happening. We're going to talk about staying sovereign in an intoxicated world. Now, this is not for the lightweights that are addicted to coffee and TV and smoking. These are for the sovereign people. So if you're sovereign and you just want to sharpen your edge a little bit, stick around, all right? We're going to speak in terms of the vortex. I often like to use the term vortex. Vortex is the kind of thing that it's kind of a whirlpool, like Scylla and Charybdis, and the myth and the myths, the Greek myths, the things that would suck you in. All right. So let's open up this concept of what's a vortex and the vortex problem. All right. Well, we when we engage with media today, we're not just encountering information. We're encountering vortices, see, emotional whirlpools created by people who are speaking from their own ignorance, their own bias, their own unexamined moral frameworks, and their own hunger for attention. See, and if you're not awake, you get pulled into their spin, right? That's not because you agree with them, but because your energy or their, let's say, because of their energy, okay, it will set the tone for your inner life. It'll set the tone. See, inner life is a constant, but there's also the outer life. So really, their tone, that's the outer life. And they want to control and affect how you think. They're going to entertain you, right? And they're going to get you back. They're going to get you back on their side. So there's the anatomy, what I call the anatomy of the media vortex. A media vortex forms when three forces converge. First, personal ignorance presented as authority. Okay, people speak from their own limited understanding as if it were universal truth. They don't know what they don't know, and really they don't care. They don't care to know. All right. Then there's the moral and ethical pronouncements rooted in personal wounds. See, most moral outrage online, it's not moral. No, it's unprocessed pain masquerading as righteousness, right? And then we have sensationalism designed to hook the gullible. The more extreme the claim, the more attention it gets, right? The more attention it gets, the more extreme it becomes. This is not information. This is emotional manipulation. Got to see it coming, especially in movies that we love. Oh, yeah. The sovereign human does not enter into other people's vortices. We do sometimes, accidentally. But we don't stay there very long, do we? No. A sovereign person does not allow someone else's bias, someone else's wound, someone else's moral confusion, and someone else's need for attention to dictate the state of their inner life. No, we don't let you get that far. You can observe the vortex, see, you can analyze it, and you can understand it, but you do not enter it. I could go on and on examples right now, but I won't in this video. I can give you a lot of examples of how you go, whoa, You see that coming, you say, I'm not going in there. Oh, yeah. I mean, I had to learn to do this on the street, especially at nighttime. Okay. Now, because the moment that you enter someone else's vortex, all right, this is the reasoning. See, you lose your center. You don't enter it. Because the moment that you enter someone else's vortex, you lose your center and you begin to react instead of perceive. Hmm. Oh yeah. I actually love entering other people's and on San Francisco, some of those clubs. Oh man, I used to love like losing my soul in other people's madness. I hate to put it in those terms, but you know, I don't claim to be God's gift to mankind here. I'm just a regular guy, just like everybody else. But I've learned a few things and passing some of that stuff on to you now. So there is a missing dimension. And the missing dimension that we need to talk about is this intoxicated age. And yes, this is an important concept. It is a dimension, right? And it affects everything, how we think, how we feel, how we react, and how easily we are manipulated. We are living in an intoxicated age. I'll explain this. See, not only in the literal sense, through alcohol, drugs, pharmaceuticals, recreational stuff, like certainly, these things play their part, but in a far more pervasive and socially acceptable way, we are intoxicated by media. We are intoxicated by food. We are intoxicated by stimulation. See, media intoxication? Yeah, media today is engineered to bypass the rational mind, the left brain, right? And it goes straight into the nervous system. It's designed to provoke, to inflame, to addict, to destabilize, and to keep you in a state of low grade agitation. This is not information. This is dopamine architecture, kids. This is dopamine architecture. All right. A person intoxicated by media loses discernment, loses their patience, their nuance, their depth, and their sovereignty. They become reactive instead of reflective. They become emotionally hijacked by strangers. You know those directors and those writers? Do you know them really? What their agenda is? No, you generally don't. Some do. I do. I have a few. They become participants in someone else's vortex. And I do. For one, I get sucked into the other guy's vortex all the time on media because I love movies. Always have. It's very easy for me to get drawn in. There's a lot there. These various scenes that are put together, they're scientific, some of them. Scientifically designed through sound, through visuals, really to get in deep. It's a real study. I mean, people, organizations, producers, schools, they spend billions learning how to colonize the mind. Oh, yeah. So they do it with precision. So food is also an intoxication. Now watch what happens with food. See, the second intoxicant, food here, is even more insidious than the first. See, the farther we drift from our evolved biology, the farther we drift away from nuts, roots, berries, fish, meat, simple plants, that shaped our physiology for thousands of years. So we descend into the farther away from there we go, what happens? Inflammation, metabolic confusion, hormonal disruption, and cognitive fog. See, modern food is not nourishment, it's not real. It is chemical stimulation. It keeps the body in a state of low grade poisoning, not enough to kill you, but enough to weaken your clarity, your vitality, your emotional regulation, and the ability to perceive truth. And you know exactly what I'm talking about because we've all been there. A fogged body creates a fogged mind. A fogged mind is easily manipulated. That's why we love to get drunk, right? When we're partying with our friends, you know, get a little tipsy and we laugh about it. We think it's funny. And a manipulated mind is easily captured by media vortices. So, and the affluent world, whoa, it's the worst and most intoxicated. This is not just America, this is global. Wherever affluence exists. Why? Because affluence brings convenience and abundance, overstimulation, processed food, digital saturation, and I can tell you all about that, and the illusion of sophistication. This is not real sophistication, but we think we are. But beneath that sophistication is a slow poisoning, physical, emotional, and intellectual. Yeah, yeah. The modern human is overstimulated, undernourished, and spiritually dehydrated. I should emphasize that. Dehydrated. This is why people are so reactive. Yeah, it's why they fall into media vortices. It's why they cannot think clearly and they cannot feel deeply. And this is why they cannot hold sovereignty. They are intoxicated. We are intoxicated. So let's get back to the way. Let's restore the human being. See, the way is not just about spiritual posture, you know. It's about human restoration. You cannot teach sovereignty, see, to anyone without addressing the body's clarity, the mind's stability, the nervous system's integrity, the, the diet's impact, the media's influence, and the cultural intoxication that keeps people asleep. Okay, a sovereign human being must be clear. All right, kids, you got this? Must be clear, must be grounded, must be nourished. I mean, like real food, awake, and unhooked from artificial stimulation. Unhooked, you can always have a little artificial. Man, it's good for the soul, but unhooked from artificial stimulation. Otherwise, they will always be vulnerable to the vortex. Got to watch that vortex now. So the sovereign position is like this. When you engage media from sovereignty, you see clearly, you stay grounded, you remain unprovoked, you maintain your dignity, you protect your inner life, and you become the rare person who cannot be manipulated by noise, panic, or spectacle. This is the posture of the sovereign human being. This is the way. All right. So, okay. Send me your hot, juicy comments. I love them. And I'm going to get on to some business. It's getting a little late. And you come back again when you have time. We'll share some stuff. We'll pick up some, exchange some ideas here. And until I see you again, remain, yes, remain in peace.